All right, hello and welcome to the DFS underscore PhD show for today, June 8th to 9th for the tennis show. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone had to win that money. Might as well be us. And it was over the weekend. We did all right in the birdie, taking down two top hundreds. No top tens, however, so a little frustrating there. Also, I'm trying a new thing where I'm like showing up with my wins. So, if that's working, but it never has worked before. So I don't know why I would assume it will work now. But yeah, thank you to everyone joining us today. We've already filled the DratKings show for tomorrow. So I figure let's give you guys a show because I like to talk about tennis as well. And I keep going back and forth on exactly how to build today. Um, well, these don't seem great. 15 lineups. Don't love what I'm seeing here. They turn on, yeah, I only have don't use opposing players, 2,400. Okay. Well, I don't believe that you can't make it work, but that's okay. I like the people at the top here. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about how we wound up here now that I'm happy with the set. I've been working on it for a little while, so I kind of knew I would be. Basically, I'm not doing sheets rule today. I'm just doing salary constraints. I think that if you leave 300 on the table, you're not going to have more than one or two dupes in main tomorrow, and that's fine. We'll win, I don't know, 7,500, 6,000 instead of 10,000. Because I don't really buy it either. That's dependent on our ownerships being right, right? So when I took in the Sheets rule version to make sure it was all unique, it was only giving me like 200 lineups. It was like forcing bad plays. That's okay. We'll just see if we can snipe one where we got low numbers of dupes because, we're still restraining the salary a little bit. Like, does it say dupes over here somewhere? I think it does. No, it's not in the fields that are showing right now. But guys who I think are a little bit better on this surface, on grass, right, are kind of like good servers. So a lot of Jerry, a lot of Mpeshi Pericard. Uh, Even with the ladies, I think that's a little bit of Hanan Baya. When she gets going, it's on these surfaces where she can get things spinning early. Vekic as well, Anisimova, they not as much, but for women, they have the possibility, like Zakharova, can get really run out of the gym sometimes. Um, anyway, so that's what I'm going with there. Mukova as well. Like maybe I should allow even more of her wins. Probably, yeah, 30 because 74% of her wins, that should be 37%. Because I want half of her wins to be that's my rough rubric. If you watched the show before, I say about half the wins that you get are going to be in straight sets. And so for someone like Mukova, you've got a pretty decent for a woman aces to double faults. So I think there's a pretty good chance she's a little bit expensive, but there's a good chance she goes double, goes with straight sets, and then even like some chance of some clean sets in here. So I think you got to have a little bit more of her than I had at this point. So yeah, we're going to don't worry about entry exposure. I did that earlier, and some of the games weren't showing it. So now we're just going through and making sure everything makes sense. You got win percentage here. You got aces and double faults. So I want all my highest exposed, biggest leverage. Let me pull leverage over here too. Biggest leverage plays should be these guys with lots of aces because in the case they win, 60% chance for Jerry. He's going to have 10 more aces than all the other people. And same thing with Mpeshi Pericard, I think. Slightly more double faults we would worry about, but also I don't know. I think he might be able to get out of there with a big win. And on the other side of that, if he doesn't, the other guy. So one way or another, you can see my exposure to that match, 87%. Little high. Let me see. That means that's too high on the Safuin side. Because down there at that price, he probably needs close to straights to be optimal. So let's pop him down to 25%. You can have like one weird situation where it's not straights or something like that. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. This is great. Yeah, I don't mind having a little bit of negative ROI on some of these lineups because they are well, removed from the other ones. They're disjoint. They are, what's the word? Orthogonal. What's a word to relate to you guys? Perpendicular. That's not going to work. Okay, so Lulu Sun, that seems high, but she's going to crush probably against who even knows. I don't know who Anrak, probably challenger or qualifier or something. Lulu Sun's been playing well. I'll give her that, but I just don't. I don't believe it yet. Well, maybe I'll watch tomorrow. Oh yeah, it just said there's some projections updates. So let's see if I missed anything or if there's anything new for the video before we continue. Oh, it keeps saying, yeah, refresh, refresh. I just refreshed. Not going to do it again. Darderi, all of the win percent. That seems like, yeah. So that's the thing. If you order these by salary, you'll be able to tell my overall strategy. I'm not going to pay up for a woman who's going to probably win in straight sets, but give me a ton of double faults because I know that the upside on that score, not high. Like if we look at Mertens, what are these top scores? Yeah, 75, 80. We need these 80s and 90s from people who are winning every game. Like when you go and look at what Lulu Sun, I think I'm going to see more. Yep, 80s, a bunch, 13% of Sims, 18% chance of 80 or higher, 20% chance. So that's what I'm saying. Those are the guys you got to play tomorrow. Is the ones who can give you that 80 or higher tomorrow. So like when we look at our highest exposed guys, Pesci Pericard, ooh, I disagree. I have a much higher this hump. I have higher for him. I believe in him higher. You can see I've biased his distribution a little higher. Still, that's a bit high, 46%, because I do think that double faults will get in there. So I think I'll go 35% or something like that to allow what? Yeah, I would say I want every single of his straight set wins, but that's not that many of them. I'm gonna go 30. 25 because of the double faults. I'm going to talk myself out of a huge stand here because it's just the numbers don't support it. Same thing with Hooded Maya. This is a lot. Is this really the best we can do? I can't go like change number of uniques or something and get a little better. No. Okay, what about if I go? Because I don't mind this much Arnaldi if he wins. I think, well, at that price, I also don't really want that much of him. Yeah, but these are win percent. For the win percent for Hanan Maya, it's pretty good. Can't poke too many holes in this set. All right, you know what I will say? Let's look at the salaries of them. Can I see that easily? Because if they're all like 49.7, then that's just going to be too many dupes. Yeah, 49.7. I bet that's okay. I bet those are all right. I bet we'll get like a few dupes. What happens if I rank it instead of by ROI? Can I do it by like Saber score for, I don't know, is this a small slate with uh, not that many people or something? Yeah. See if I do it that way. Can I get better ROI? Of course not. Why would I have thought that would be better ROI? Oh, but maybe that will match. No, it also did not solve my other problem. So there we go. What about win rate? Because that's really what I want to do. I want to win. Oh, I like win rate's interesting. A lot more Lulu. Pretty similar. I don't like the way it's jamming. It's jamming people who don't have a high ace percent. That's not what we're doing here. Let's get back to what we're doing. We're winning with ROI. We're winning with people who have high number of aces. I thought. Now we're getting a ton of Harad Maya. We got to roll that back. See if rolling back the. No, it didn't matter. If I reset these ownerships again, maybe re-roll the dice, rebuild these lineups, maybe allow we get any of the. Yeah, we're still getting some of these 49-1 and 49-2. Because I've been wondering, could we include, 2,400? We could include 48-7 just to get around these max ownership issues. Yeah, okay. So let's try this. We're gonna make the range a little bit bigger because I don't know. I don't feel strongly about these favorites tomorrow. I mean, like, do you? It's not that kind of slate, right? I mean, Lulu Sun, your biggest favorite tomorrow. I mean, like, I guess I'm not 1,000% sure, but she's not that. Let's check it out. Lulu Sun. Pretty sure we got like spotty match history here. For like, let's go back to all matches that are not. I mean, eventually, I assume I can hash out Clay. So let's go to her last non-Clay. Miami Open lost to Sharif. Not great, guys. Not great. I mean, she's not terrible, but I don't know. I mean, okay, Zhang is great, so that's nothing wrong there. And those are good wins. So I mean, nothing. Indian Wells, she did well at Indian Wells, but that's hard court, you know. Like, what happened last time she was on grass? I mean, probably what last year? Look at this. Last year, she lost in a 125 to a qualifier by a lot. I mean, just mashed straight sets. Last year in Hertogenbosch also got mashed by Robin Montgomery after, granted, beating a somewhat of a qualifier. So anyway, I'm just saying, like, this is our biggest favorite on the slate. Not that great, right? I mean, it's not a slate where you have to jam favorites. So we're not going to jam favorites, and we are going to rebuild with, I mean, I've just talked myself into a lot of flexibility here. So if I wanted to use all of my lineups, because I have 5,000 available lineups and $700 gave me 2,400 lineups, then $1,400 should give me the right number of lineups. So maxing the number of lineups in the pool should make our simulation the best. Thank you again to SaberSim for allowing me to use their stuff in the videos and or just being an awesome software that I like to use. They're not really sponsored this. They're just good. All right. So number of lineups, 4,800 as expected. Phase space approximation of density worked. We're all happy with that. All right, let's go here to 15 lineups. So that's what we're doing. That's not that many. You see a lot of cross-offs here, right? Like I'm never playing Mertens. I'm never playing Layla and Fernandez, Kasatkina, Siniakova. These guys, too much double fault risk. And I mean, like, not that convincing people. Like Mertens have been terrible. So I'm not playing. That was an unclick for that reason, not even for the double faults. Osario double faults, Sevastova double faults, Blinkova double faults, English double faults, Burridge just not going to win. That's probably why. I didn't mean Peters to be in there either. Zakharova's like, I think 10%. I think, yeah, 10% if you want to play those ones at the bottom, but there's no need. Okay, so we've got these 4,800 lineups. Why have we chosen those ones? That's surely you can do better than to choose those ones. Okay, thank you. This is at least like passable. All right, now look at this. The guys at the top, Mukova, which I'm okay with, even though not the highest ace upside, just because I think Inglis, I don't know. I mean, like, granted, sounds English, but we're not at Wimbledon yet. So does the whole grass court thing hold on the other courts? I don't know. Okay. Thompson, great. Haddad Maya, fine. I don't want quite that much, but it's maxing out my amount. Kvitova, okay. All right. We've hit an amount here. I always enter some extras in these satellites that have overlay. So that's what you're seeing there. People who are in the State Kings show. So that's another way that I make money off the top when I do these State Kings things. And you should do it too. It's called the Satellite Strategy. And you can check out my YouTube channel to learn more about the satellite strategy. That's where this video is. So you probably are aware of it. It's probably down here at the end of the video. Okay. So let's look at our leverage now. So I can just tell you, yeah, underweight on Struff, just because I assume that's a misprice on him. Yeah, 48% chance of winning. People just jam that, and it's a hard match. It's a hard match against Arnold. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if he wins, he's optimal. Maybe. I mean, what's his price? 6,600? If he wins, he's optimal. If he gets a better result than Darderi, Kovacevic, Kartal, Tatiana Maria, Tomova, Zakharova, and Peters. Now, Peters is not that good. So 6 people, though. He's got, like, it's not just enough for him to win anymore, at that price. So that's all I'm trying to say. It's a fine play still, but it's not 40%. People do this all the time. And that's why, yeah, you've watched the show enough, when I check the leverages, whenever I get to the part where Saberson is doing something, I'm like, oh, okay. Like with Vekic. You heard me earlier, my earlier draft, I had a lot of Vekic. And I was talking about Zakharova, and I realized after the fact, I was in my brain talking about Rakimova. So, like, I don't know. I think there's a massive difference in these people. tennis. Zakharova tennis rank is like current ranking 111, and Rakimova is like way up there. Rakimova. Oh, is she doing that well now? 63. Excuse me. I mean, I don't think of her as a better player than the other one, but that's okay. So we can't use that reasoning, but generally fine with my gut, going with my gut there. You can see all the other negative leverage plays that are over 10% besides Bellucci. So Bellucci and Vekic, not strong takes. If you want to go your own way and you're watching this video as a building thing, I'm fine with you going your own way there. That's not a strong stand. The Lulu Sun thing, we just get there. I mean, I just talked you into it, right? She's good, but I mean, 88%. Are we sure? I don't know, man. I mean, it's got to be down to whoever this other Andrak Van Peters is, right? Probably doesn't have the legs or whatever to stand up to a real shot. I guess that's what we're assuming. But yeah, this is nice. I like this set. I'm gonna stop messing with it before I mess it up because this is pretty good. Let's look at those. Let's look at those salaries again. Ooh, we dipped down into the 48 nines there. Twice or just once? Just once. But that's good. I'm happy to have that because I thought that flexibility is probably necessary. And look, with a Struff lineup, that's what we're doing. With if you're going to choose the obvious dog, leave money on the table. Saberson, man, I love it. They just do it in the background. So when you do get the overowned piece, you get him in a lineup that is naturally great because, as I mentioned, I'm not doing the check like this sheet I mentioned in passing sheets rule. That's an aggregate rule where you look at the geometric mean of the ownership and it's 19 or whatever. That's for a big slate. So you could make it 20 probably. That's what I did for basketball today. But anyway, so that's how you control for your set and make sure that all of the lineups, like that's one way to parse your face space in a bigger set to make sure that you're getting high ROI. But here we don't need that. This is like a tiny slate. Who knows if everybody's going to remember this is happening after the French Open? I mean, what a finals, right? I mean, like how do we get this far into a tennis video without saying, what a finals, right? That French Open finals was incredible. Nobody here played, I mean, Pericard played like 6 days ago. Nobody played that recently to where we think there's going to be any carryover, but always, always, always have your alarm set because, I mean, who knows who's going to walk over whatever news we get last second is so important. But for now, I think I like the way that this set is shaping up. Fading Mertens, fading Fernandez, basically just going with kind of a barbell approach because people are way overconfident in these favorites because these favorites are not, to me, like steamroll them in straight sets favorites. Yeah, look what I'm taking the most of. All these guys are like 50 to 70% winners because in the case where those guys win, they're definitely optimal. Whereas I'm telling you, when we go up to these top plays that I'm fading, I think let me just do it that way so they don't talk about a play I'm actually playing. But these guys are so owned compared to their chance of success, right? There's no meat on the bone for Struff today. No meat. Like he has to win in straights and no double faults above 4. And his average is 6, right? So I don't know how you get there. Like I understand that his average result is good. His value is the highest on the slate. Everybody knows that though. And his winning chance is not really like his optimal percent's not higher than 37. I bet you tomorrow. Because everybody uses the same contest sims and whatever. The people who are more risk averse, which is like 60 to 80% of you guys, are gonna hone in on this. Because there's one error, right? Like if you look at the actual value, let me just tell you this, right? Struff is the best. It's clearly in terms of line value the best on the slate. Don't play that play. Rarely play that play. Now here you can consider it. He has all these aces, right? So I mean, like, fine, it could work out where Struff gets 20 and 0, but I believe more in Arnaldi than that. Although on this surface, do I really? I don't know. We'll see if we stick with this in the morning. Obviously, I'm gonna rerun everything like 10 minutes before lock if somebody's out. So not the end of the story. Do check out in the Discord. Yeah, I think that I have that up. Yeah. Check out in the Discord for build notes on this as we go. I've already put the stuff that I was just talking about there. Yeah, so that's basically it. So yeah, and if you've watched the video for this long and you're always watching my stuff, You may also want to, now that I'm using my real name, the State Kings, I figured, hey, why not port you guys over here to my research gate as well? I could use people to give me some notes and editing notes on my popular science book. I don't know. It's interesting. Um, actually though, I might need to redo it. It's not enough about Feynman and Einstein. Yeah, never mind. All right, so uncook this. You guys can check it out still, but I don't want you to edit this one. This is the one from 6 years ago. This is not the current book prospectus. I might have to put a new one up there. So we'll get to that next time. Please enjoy my research gate. And remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us.